Hey Joe. Uh, Video number two. Um, when you talk about the oud is my primary instrument. I know I've been talking about the lute a lot lately, but of course I've been playing the oud for 21 years now. So I have composed for it, and I have performed on it, and I've recorded with it, and I have played, been invited to play faraway places because I can play it. So it's my main instrument, and it's a fantastic instrument. I think it's one of the greatest instruments in the world. I have a number of ouds. I have more than a few. I have 7 altogether. They don't all belong to me, but I'm going to show them to you. So this video is going to be dead ouds. This is ouds that don't work, and I sort of don't know what to do with them. But maybe you have some suggestions when I show them to you. They're kind of interesting, though. You know, an oud is they have character. They have a story. They're fascinating instruments. Okay, so here's dead oud number 1. Very nice bag that I have for this oud. It's been in here for some time, and it was an oud that I bought from my good friend Pierre, who's Lebanese American, and man, he's such a great guy. We're oud buddies, and he's a supporter of what I do, and just a great guy. This is a sukar oud, and I'm very much doing injustice to the sukar company by showing you this instrument, because sukars are great ouds, and I'm not sure why the bridge popped off of this oud last year, but this oud was damaged when it came to me. I got a deal on it from Pierre because it already had cracks in the face, and later it developed other cracks, and I had those repaired, and then last year the bridge popped off, as you can see, and it was not a failure of the glue, because hopefully you can see that that's the wood, that's the grain, and there's grain here, so I mean it's the wood that failed. So this oud is very much problematic. When it was working, and it worked for 10 years, thereabouts. And when it was working, it had a great sound. Sukars have a big sound. They're Syrian oud. They're manufactured. It's a factory, but Ibrahim Sukar, the founder of the company, really worked hard to make good instruments. And in general, if I get a student and he's saying, "Hey, what kind of oud should I start out with?" I steer him towards Sukar if I can, because they're really good. The neck is good. The bowl, lots of staves, as you can see. Some wear and tear. It's definitely seen some miles. These pegs are mine. I bought them. They're ebony. They work really well. I'm not crazy about the face. You know, the neck. This neck looks awesome. But as I'm sure you know, over time, this has to be sanded down so that it can be kept smooth. And I don't like multiple materials here, because then it's going to sand differently, and that causes problems. But it looks great. I've performed with it. I think I have. I've traveled with it. That may be part of the problem. That may be why it has deteriorated as much as it has. But I think I went to the Middle East with it once. I'm not sure. Anyway, great instrument. To bring this alive again, I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna have to have a new face put on it. And I'm, although as you know, I've started instrument repair work. I'm not up to making a new face for an oud, not yet. But bowls are, the bowl is valuable if you have one. If it's in good shape and it's in good repair, you can always replace the face. This is something that's done, especially on older, highly valuable ouds. Anyway, dead oud number 1, sukar. That's the deal. All right, here we have dead oud number 2. And Pierre sent this with me years ago. All of these ouds came to me at the same time when I hooked up with Pierre. I traveled to Colorado to see him. And these came home with me. And this is another Syrian oud. This appears to be handmade. It's a Georges Jamil oud. And I don't know anything about this maker. I would say that this was, it had a lot of inlay on it that the inlay is kind of falling apart. The face definitely needs work, but it needs to be cleaned up. I don't actually see any, well, there's a crack here, but it's not, the face is not falling apart. The rosettes are falling apart, and they appear to be plastic. The body, as you can see, it's really wide. I mean, that is a fat oud. And I think that's kind of a traditional thing. Very big, wide body. I've had ouds that were completely different shape from this. The back looks okay. The bowl looks okay. The neck is highly problematic. You can see here, somebody cut notches in the side of the neck. I guess for teaching purposes or for learning purposes, I don't know. They definitely, I mean, that's just a terrible thing to do to a neck. And then one of the notches resulted in a crack, as you can see. And here, maybe, can you see that? There's a crack. There's a crack there. So the pegs are, I don't know if they're ebony or not. I think they're not ebony. They've been blackened, which is, you know, not ideal. But this oud could be fixed up. It could be repaired, and if it was, it would probably have a pretty good sound. I haven't even bothered to tune it up or anything. So, but this is a Georges Jamil. I think it's Lebanese, not sure. Older instrument, and it's dead unless I can do something to it. So, dead oud number 2. Okay, now we have, I'm getting a lot of glare here. Sorry, I've got my anti-glare thing. It's not really working. Anyway, it's kind of glare. Sorry. Then we have dead oud number 3. This one is really mysterious. Pierre sent this with me too. This is really old, as you can see. This is an old oud. The face is seriously cracked. The rosettes have fallen out, and they're rattling around in the bottom of the instrument. The neck is really narrow, as you can see. It looks funny the way that it is, and that neck is very much not ideal for playing. It's extremely narrow. The peg box is extremely narrow, and look how the pegs stick out the way that they do. Can you see that? I have never seen an oud like this except for in medieval illuminations from Spain, and maybe if you look at a Persian illuminated manuscript, Turkish Persian, you might see an oud that has this kind of configuration. The narrow neck, the narrow peg boxes, the pegs that stick way out like that. It's a really, it's cool. I mean, I think it's interesting looking. It's not ideal. This is not a great playing surface, and it doesn't. I mean, there's no ebony on the neck, so this was not a high budget item. But it is nice. You know, anything that's wood could be repaired and fixed and made better. I have to ask Pierre. I don't remember if he gave this to me or just left it with me. I'm not sure. He's probably going to see this video and then he'll tell me. So, but it's cool. I mean, I took a photo of it. This would go great on an album cover, I think. You know, and I may use it for that again. I don't know. Anyway, Dead Oud number 3, Benjamin Antun. There we go. Alrighty. This is a Farouk Shahada Oud. This is an Egyptian Oud. And this is the only Egyptian Oud that I have on hand. This doesn't belong to me. It belongs to Pierre. The idea was to sell it. It has kind of some problems. But I just want to show you. This really is a nice instrument. This is... this probably can be saved. It definitely can be saved. But anyway, as you can see there, trying to get it in camera. Okay. Egyptian ouds tend to have more decoration on them. The other thing about the Egyptian oud is that, as you can see, it's got this flat tail. So it's a kind of triangular shape, very different from the Syrian oud and the Iraqi oud and so on. The back on this one is quite plain for an Egyptian oud. Often they'll have a lot of decoration on there. But this one is handmade, and this is a legit instrument. Quite a good instrument. For some reason, strangely, it was tuned in the high F tuning, the tenor tuning, which raises the pitch of the instrument by a fourth. Instead of C to C, you have F to F. And this is a violation of the ethos of the Egyptian oud. The Egyptian oud is tuned to C, and sometimes the purists, you know, the uber traditionalists, they'll even leave off the top string so that it's just C to G. This tuning, the tenor tuning, is more characteristic of the Munir Bashir Iraqi oud, modern Iraqi oud school, which this is definitely not that. I have one of those, and I'll show you that later, but I'm going to try to play this for you so you can kind of hear how it sounds, and I'll show you the problems with it here. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, it has kind of like a matured sound. This pegs work nice. The neck is pretty good. There's problems with the high chorus, this very un-Egyptian high F chorus. You know, that would have to be fixed, and I don't know how to fix that, which is why I haven't found a home for this thing yet. But Farouk Shahada passed away in the 20th century, but his son Maurice Shahada still has an oud business, and it's gosh, I think it's the most successful oud manufacturing company in Egypt, which is to say probably in all of the Middle East. I don't know. They sell ouds all the way from the budget level, $600-700 up to, I mean, I don't even know. I think like $10,000, $20,000 for a sheikh, you know, who you can go to Shahada if you have a lot of money, and they will they can make your portrait on the back of the oud in inlay. Okay, so imagine seeing a picture of yourself on the back of your oud, handmade in inlay. They have a museum in Cairo where you can see it, and I mean, they're magnificent. They look unbelievable. And when you're looking into a curved work of art, it actually has this three-dimensional look to it because you're looking into something curved. It's amazing. But you know, a lot of the big oud players will play shahadas on camera. These are the new shahadas, or buy them. But I personally don't know anybody that plays them. And I wonder sometimes whether their reputation for unbelievably cosmetic beauty sort of overshadows the sound, you know, the sound issue. So, but, you know, I actually owned a shahada back in the day. This would have been a budget shahada. I think I paid $1,200 for it. And it was what you might call a low-end pro instrument. And it was solid. It was solid. I mean, it was like playing. It just felt great. And it had a good sound. It had a good sound. But I wound up giving it to a friend because I had an opportunity to get a different instrument, and I went with that. Not saying anything bad about shahada. Shahada is great stuff, I'm sure. And these are sought after. So, not really a dead oud. This is more of a live oud, but it needs some work. So, number 4. All right, man. So that's what I wanted to show you today. Hope you're doing well. The next video I make, I'm going to make 3 different ones, but I'm going to show you my ouds, the ouds that I play, and the ouds that I depend on. So anyway, I'll talk to you soon. Take care.